guys, we're going to do our first devotion this morning. We're going to be in James chapter 5. What I want to talk to you guys about this morning is about patience. Because of everything that's going on, I was thinking, like, man, what would be good? And I was reading through and everything and praying. And I think that really, like, what would be good to hear about is patience. We talk a lot about how patience is a virtue, how it's important in Christian life, so I want to talk to you guys about like why we should be patient and talk to you guys about what it means whenever the Bible talks about patience. And before we get into it, really, I want to remind you guys of something. I want to remind you guys that we're going to be doing our surviving quarantine check-in today at 1 o'clock. We're going to be doing that via Google Hangouts. So you're going to need a Google account for that. Make sure you put your email, that account name in the comments on Instagram. And so that way we can add you guys in. We want to make sure everybody's doing all right. Hope you guys had a great weekend. Hope y'all enjoyed the sermon by Dr. Edge yesterday. And then I also want to tell you guys about an app called Read Scriptures. Now, Read Scriptures it's a Bible app. It takes you through different books. It takes you through the books of the Bible, and it takes you through them a chapter at a time. And so you can read that on your own time. You can read it a chapter a day, however you want to do it. It's totally up to you. You can go through, check that app out. It's really very helpful. Really very good, and it'll help you stay connected in this time for us in this time of us like having to be away from church and from you guys. So we're going to be in James chapter 5 verses 7 through 11, and let me just read that to you guys real quick. James writes, "Be patient, therefore, brothers, until the coming of the Lord. See how the farmer waits for the precious fruit of the earth, being patient about it until it receives the early and the late rains. You also be patient. Establish your hearts, for the coming of the Lord is at hand. Do not grumble against one another, brothers, so that you may not be judged. Behold, the judge is standing at the door. As an example of suffering and patience, brothers, take the prophets who spoke in the name of the Lord. Behold, we consider those blessed who remain steadfast. You have heard of the steadfastness of Job, and you have seen the purpose of the Lord, how the Lord is compassionate and merciful." Well, this is really great. And we talk about patience a lot. We talk about patience a lot in Bible studies. We talk about patience as, like I said earlier, as a virtue. And so what does it mean to be patient? Well, when James is talking about patience here, what he's specifically talking about is enduring misfortunes and troubles. Now, you might see it as troublesome to not be at youth group. I know it is killing me. I told my wife yesterday, it kills me that I can't be there with you guys, that I don't get to, that this is how we're doing this, that I can't see you. I can see y'all right now. I can't, because this is pre-recorded, but it kills me that I can't be there with you guys. And so, we could see this time as troublesome, but James instructs us that we are to wait upon God, that we are to not lose heart. Spurgeon once wrote, "A man to whom it is given to wait for a reward keeps up his courage. And when he has to wait, he says, 'It is no more than I expected. I never reckoned that I was to slay my enemy at the first blow. I never imagined that I was to capture the city as soon as ever I had digged the first trench. I reckoned upon waiting, and now that is come, I find that God gives me the grace to fight on and wrestle on till the victory shall come. And patience saves a man from a great deal of haste and folly." We see a lot of times the Bible talks about waiting. It talks about patience. Even in the same book, in James chapter 1, starting in verse 4, it says, "And let steadfastness have its full effect, that you may be perfect and complete, lacking in nothing." And we see this like idea of endurance, enduring a long suffering, enduring, standing strong through troubles, enduring misfortunes and troubles. We see that as a common theme in the Bible. If we really think about it, the need for endurance we have in the Christian life is very much like that of the waiting farmer that James talks about. He says, "See how the farmer waits for the precious fruit of the earth, being patient about it until it receives the early and the late rains." If you know a farmer, or if you have a family member that's a farmer, or if you've ever grown anything, you know that it takes time, and you know that just because nothing comes up doesn't mean that you give up immediately. You keep waiting. You wait there patiently. If you take the fruit or vegetables off of their plant too early, they're not going to be good. They're not. It's just, and that's obvious. We think through that and we're like, okay, yeah, that's obvious, and we might be thinking at this time, man, I really wish that God would that this would just hurry up and get finished. But here's what I want to give to you guys this morning in this short little devotion. I want to give you guys this encouragement to just be patient.